finally got it. All right, welcome back to the Blake's Business Morning Show. We're here live on Facebook. You're going to be able to catch us on YouTube later if you're missing it. But happy Friday, everyone. It's a beautiful day. We're here on Friday. Markets are still down. So enjoy your cup of coffee. If you're a day trader, maybe this is your time to get in the action. If you're a long-term holder, just turn it off. Don't even look at the stocks. But here we are. Let's dive in. Not down as bad as yesterday as things bounced around. We've got the Dow down about 100 points at the moment, 0.3%. The S&P 500 down 18 points, about 0.4%. Russell 2000, 0.5. NASDAQ 0.7. You get the idea. Small down at the moment. It's definitely still a possibility to bounce back for the day, turn to the green. But Ukraine, once again, the top of the news, causing a conflict. Separatists are saying for people in what would be eastern Ukraine to evacuate to Russia, which, that's problematic. That's going to send the markets into a little bit of a tizzy. At least that's what the Wall Street Journal is saying. So that's there. Let's look at equity sectors. We got also, have to mention, said I was going to go 5 to 7 minutes yesterday, went a full 20. Today will actually be 5 to 7 minutes. So if you're worried about getting sucked into a wonderful 20-minute show, no, 5 to 7 today. We're going to keep it tight. I promise. Hold me to it. Hold me to it, Blake's Business Minute fans. All right. U.S. equity markets. We've got a couple winners. Consumer staples, financials, utilities, and real estate all flat to slightly up. Everything else is pretty much down. Materials, healthcare, communications, industrials, energy, tech, and consumer discretionary, with tech and consumer discretionary and energy taking the biggest hits at the moment, down about 1% on all three of those. Going into equity factors, growth is taking the bigger hit. That's kind of the story of when the market is down. Growth has been down over value. But I still wouldn't say we're in a value cycle or anything like that. This is just, kind of standard macro news volatility. So let's move into the market movers, see what's really moving as far as individual stocks this morning. On the positive side, we'll start with the NASDAQ, Dollar Tree, Cisco System, Ross Stores, Kraft Heinz, all up over 1%. Dollar Tree is really killing it. Let's see what's going on with them. They must have had a great earnings report. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, they're both blowing up. People love their cheap groceries, and they both are expanding their physical retail footprint, especially in rural and urban areas. As far as losers on the NASDAQ 100, we got Pinduoduo. Like I said, still not familiar with what that company does. May have to do some research if they keep showing up on both the winner and the loser board. Mercado Libre, Intel down. Lucid Group, Baidu, Match, and NVIDIA all down over 4%. So pretty significant losses this morning. Let's dive into the S&P 500, and then we'll get into some top news. And while we do so, we'll enjoy our coffee. If you'll look in the bottom right corner, I pointed right this time. Nice. This little, the flip thing's getting me. Bottom right, we've got our normal cup of coffee today. I felt, just a black coffee was perfect for us all to enjoy together on Blake's Business Morning Show on a Friday. Get the people going. All right. So S&P 500. In the positive side, we got Ford Motor, Consolidated Edison, Allstate Corporation, some of the biggest winners on that side. Losers, PPL Corporation, Keysight, General Electric. So that kind of sums up your winners and losers today in the morning stock market. Keep an eye on it if you own any of those stocks. If you're a long-term holder, short-term volatility doesn't matter. But if you see your stock on the winner or the loser, maybe check out, see what's going on. All right, moving into some of the top stories of the day. The Wall Street Journal on their business section had a nice little energy focus going, both on the fracking and traditional oil and gas side and the renewable side. And so we're going to go camera angle number 2. Welcome. All right, let's get into it. So first big story is that fracking is officially back oil is close to $100 a barrel once again. And that means record profits for fracking companies. But it comes with a twist. So usually in the boom and bust cycle of oil and gas, when oil prices are high, that means production is going to ramp up like crazy until it busts. Not this time, though, as Pioneer Resources, Devon, and Continental Resources all announced that they are going to hold production. So they're going to hold their cash, reinvest enough to keep output stable, but not ramp up production, which is an interesting change to the normal kind of model, especially as demand for oil and gas products globally continues to pick up. So a little bit of a change for the oil and gas companies. Wall Street is certainly cheering because that's going to keep oil prices high if American shale continues to limit its output. Not so great for the consumer pocketbook. It plays into the inflation and everything that you're feeling, and it's spending more money on the essentials you need in your life. So great news for the oil industry. Will probably keep the oil industry out of a bust cycle, but not great for the pocketbooks of the consumer. So, yin and yang. We live here in Fort Worth, Texas, so overall this should be good for the Texas community. For the U.S. consumer as a whole, not so sure about it. It means $100 oil is likely here to stay, if not a little bit higher over the next year. In the second big story, let's flip over to the renewable side. So Quebec, apparently in their forest, they have some very robust hydro power plants, and Blackstone wants to spend $4.5 billion creating high voltage transmission to New York City. The project could supposedly power up to 20% of New York City's power needs, which would be a ginormous renewable energy project, the biggest in New York since Niagara Falls was harnessed for hydropower. So this is super interesting. Blackstone continues to get into the infrastructure game, building, buying, being a big player in the infrastructure world. They're massive. So this is an interesting project to me. It is a 339-mile transmission line from the remote Quebec forest. You have a lot of complication to it. High transmission lines are dangerous to put together. They can prone to failure, especially along such long tracts of land. At least that's what the article said. And there's also environmental pushback. So it's a renewable project that could be huge for supplying power to New York City and could be a kind of basis for future power projects in the U.S. and future renewable energy infrastructure. But there's a lot of moving pieces, and if they can accomplish it, it'll be a huge deal for Blackstone. But, it's not as easy as it seems. So, interesting project. I would definitely read both of those articles if I were out there. They were super interesting. They give a lot more detail. This is for the quick hits, not for the detailed analysis, as I'm not an expert on either of those fields. Let's finish off with the business financial news of the day. I love this website. It's Jason Zweig of the Wall Street Journal. He has a piece, Financial News in History. I should have prepared this beforehand. This is my apologies. We're going to flip back to camera one. This day in financial history. Loading. Here we go. All right, let's see. February 18th, we've got two things on his list. The first, Daniel Bernoulli, one of the giants of probability theory and father of modern risk analysis, is born in Basel, Switzerland. That's very interesting. Bernoulli, I believe I've heard him from my MBA classes and all that stuff. Not so super familiar with his work, but he was born today in 1700. That's a long time ago. Another one, 1688, the London Gazette publishes the earliest known reference to Edward Lloyd's Coffee House, the birthplace of Lloyd's of London and the insurance industry. That's even more interesting. So first ever mention of Edward Lloyd's Coffee House. I didn't even know that Edward Lloyd's Coffee House became Lloyd's. So super interesting facts. That's the financial history of the day. And I think this is an episode. I think this is the perfect length. I don't know how long I went. I know I didn't go 20 minutes. So, I think this is a good episode. As always, if you have any comments, any ideas, anything you want to see from this show, please throw me a comment. You can throw me a direct message on Instagram, on TikTok, anywhere you can find Blake's Business Minute, on YouTube as well. Reach out. We're looking to make this show as user-friendly as possible, give you the information you need to know in the mornings, and have some fun with it. So that's it. Go follow all the pages. Please subscribe on the YouTube. It's Blake's Business Minute everywhere. Same handle. Go follow on Instagram. Go follow on TikTok. You're going to get some great info. And we're having another Blake's Business Minute later today. So if you're interested in Daniel Loeb and activist investing, that's what the Blake's Business Minute is going to be on later today. And I'm going to get back in the habit. I've taken some time off to reevaluate, get this show set up, but we're getting back into it. We're going to have a Blake's Business Minute every day. We're going to have this show every day. Maybe even have an evening show. So we're going to play it by ear. And that's an episode. Have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I will see y'all on Monday morning, bright and early.